Hey guys, how are we? It's Deej, and we're currently in Alaska. I've made a journey from Redding, California, and we've gone up. So we came from here, and we came up to Alaska using the Canada ProMods road connection that takes you all the way into the Alaska North to the Future mod. I've done a little bit of exploring off camera, and for what I wanted to do is I wanted to record the hardest part of the journey, which should be Fairbanks to Coldfoot. I think I'll split this into two videos. We'll go up to Coldfoot, we'll rest there, and then we'll take the rest of the journey to Prudhoe Bay in the next video, depending on how time goes. I'll see how long it takes us. Now, we are back in the John Ruder Highway Killer. It was just updated yesterday. Yesterday. I've made a couple of changes, nothing too drastic, just a few changes in the interior, and we've given it a new paint job, which you can see here. It's almost an aqua blue, aqua green type colour, a little bit of white and a little bit of black for the accents, and then we've changed the fuel tanks, but besides that, it's the same as the last video. And then for the trailer, this should be a John Ruder flatbed, I believe. It is a freight market trailer, but with the ATS expansion cargo add-on, you can grab these in the Alaska mod just from the freight market. And there's a backhoe loader on the back. It is 33,000 pounds, so I think we'll be okay. But I think the stretch of Coldfoot to Prudhoe Bay might be a bit tricky. Now, as we are splitting this video up in two, if you would like to see the next video, you can click that little subscribe button in the bottom right corner that I've just added, or otherwise any sorts of likes and comments are greatly appreciated. I currently have a goal of 50 subs, so if you can help me out there, it would be great. So we are pretty much ready to go. We've got a full tank of gas. It is 4 AM, so it's nice and early. We should get to see most of the scenery. We'll be arriving at 12 PM, and I think as we reach Prudhoe Bay, it should just be night time, so I think that's a good stretch. And currently I have absolutely no clue what to expect on the way there. I've just heard it can be a little difficult, so we'll get going. I've got the parking on, take that off. We want our high beams on, lights on. And what else? We don't need the beacon. I do have the interior lights, but it's a bit annoying. So, I think we're good to go. For the engine, we are still using the Slavgeri Cat 6NZ. It's 600 horsepower, which is why I've specifically taken this truck for this, as I do believe we're going to need that power to get out of here. So I was using the Serial Black Physics mod, but I have had to take that off, as with this John Ruder update it was making the cab shake, and disabling the mod has fixed that. So I am using the settings I was using. I haven't changed those, so I'm hoping it goes okay. I'm not exactly sure what to expect, to be honest. So we'll have to see how that goes. Exiting this yard's a bit tricky, I think. When that light goes green, I'll trail out behind these guys. I think that'll work. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to catch that traffic there, aren't I? We'll just duck out. Currently where I live, it has been about 30 to 40 degrees every day for over a month and a half or something now. I'm getting real sick of this heat, so thought taking a journey into the frozen Alaska would be quite nice. I'm very much a winter person, so I'm missing it quite drastically, to be honest. See, because I don't drive, I go to the gym fairly regularly, 4 times a week or something, and I have to ride my bicycle there, and once it hits those 40-degree days, I tend to lose a lot of motivation for being regular, to be honest. Oh, we're gonna miss that, aren't we? So, if you've been following along with my other previous videos, you would have noticed that I had some speakers set up here. Now, I have purchased a new set of headphones. The ones I had required an amp and a DAC, which I had sold, so I've got some that can be run pretty easily now, and this should help with recording, as I was finding it quite irritating trying to record whilst running speakers, honestly. I had to balance it all out so the microphone wasn't catching everything that it would pick up. So this should help us a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of wearing headphones. I had to start wearing glasses more often, and I do find it quite uncomfortable. But these ones I got are quite good. They're the Tiger 300Rs by Bayer Dynamic. They're sort of like a gaming headphone, I suppose, but you know, if you know of the brand Bayer, they pretty much audiophile level, so they tend to be tuned a bit differently to the typical gaming headphone. I think they're quite nice. Now, you'll see I've got about $300,000 at the moment. That's mostly just coming in from the drivers I have. I think we're up to 10 drivers. I have slowly been kitting them all out with Volvo 740s, as I was just using the used market trucks, but I wanted to get like a proper fleet spec thing going, so I've got these stock Volvo 740s with a nice little cab, and then a 500 horsepower engine, and then I do try and use the SCS trucks specifically if I'm kitting these guys out, because you don't want to have to deal with a bunch of nonsense with any sort of updates or mod changes, and that keeps you from having to worry about that. See, I did have a slightly different job lined up for this video, as I tend to set everything up and leave it before I quit out of the game, so I can turn it all on and then just start recording the next time I want to play. But as I installed the John Ruder update for the truck, it made me get the map reset thing, which hasn't actually happened from a truck update before, so I wasn't expecting it, which is why the thumbnail might be slightly different, but it's not too much of a change. We're still going to the same place on the same route, though as I'm not sure what to expect, I'm slightly worried that this low boy might be a little bit long, because I was planning to take a bit of an easy trailer initially. So I'm currently not using it, but I believe you can use the Grimes Winter Frost mod, and I think that gives you some pretty cool snow out here, but I'm hoping to not keep changing my mod order as much. It gets a bit annoying. So I think I've set the rain to about 30% again, so I believe you can get some snow if you set that up, but I'm not too sure what to expect. So from what I've seen in Alaska so far, it's been pretty much like most of these other towns, pretty civilized, couple of busy areas, a bunch of depots and whatnot, but I think this is going to be the stretch where we start seeing the more crazy stuff, all the ice and the barrenness. It's actually quite interesting coming out here, as I I've never done it myself, but I find rock climbing quite fascinating, and I just watched a documentary on a bloke in the Alpinist. There was a young bloke, and he was a free climber, and he specialised in climbing Alaskan mountains, and you can kind of recognise some of the areas that you were seeing in the documentary. I thought that was pretty neat. Some of it's crazy, man. I don't think it's anything I'd want to be doing out on those peaks. I think I watched another documentary it was one of Alex Honnold's newest one, and him and the other dude he climbs with, I can't remember these names off the top of my head. They were climbing some crazy peak in Alaska as well that had never been done before. It's honestly quite ridiculous that people even consider these things, but it's definitely fascinating to watch. Okay, so we are getting our first couple of climbs here. We'll be seeing how we can tackle this now. I've dropped. This is probably too low of a gear for what I'm doing, but I don't want to get stuck. We'll have to kind of feel our way around. There we go back into 6. Yukon, Coldfoot, Dead Horse. So that is currently exactly where we're going. It's a fair while away. Oh yeah, so we're starting to get into the snow here. So, ooh, yeah, you can feel that slippage there. So, I know there are some chained wheels you can get, but I think it's more for like RP value, as I don't think it actually has any differences in the physics of the wheels, so I am not using those. Let's have a little look-see. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm loving this yet. It feels like I could crash quite easily. But the scenery is gorgeous. FPS is looking good, so that shouldn't be an issue. So we do have a trail of quite a few vehicles behind us, but it doesn't look like there's much oncoming traffic, so I think we're pretty comfy to take these turns quite easily. Doesn't look like we need to stress out about it too much. This looks like a bit of a climb coming up. So far so good. I haven't actually really looked at the route even, so I'm not sure how bad these roads are gonna get. I think it's more fun that way to just kind of tackle it straight on. So one thing, I do know how to float gears, but I almost made it just muscle memory to kick the clutch instead. I don't know if it's not even necessarily better or anything. I suppose it's just for the factor of not having to do as much, but it's kind of just become natural to hit the clutch now. These turns are a little bit rougher. These roads are getting quite narrow. I had read that I think some of these roads are actually a lot more narrow previously, but I think in as the Alaska team has slowly changed it. Right, we've got a really tight turn coming up. Okay, I can't really see, I don't think anyone's coming. Okay, we're gonna shift down. So I haven't watched it myself, but if any of you guys have watched Ice Road Truckers, do you rate that? Do you guys reckon it's worth watching, or what's going on there? I've kind of been interested in it, but I haven't gotten around to it. Certainly looks interesting. God, I don't want to pick up too much speed in these places, because I think that's when I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, like this. Righty, we've got some more winding coming up. So yeah, as it's a bit difficult to hit the speed limit the whole way through here, I think it does make more sense to divide this up into 2 videos. I'd say I'll put the next one out maybe tomorrow or the day after. The time's 7:40 AM. Yeah, I feel like if I don't sleep, I don't know, I don't have enough time to rest a couple of times so we get daytime again. I think we're definitely going to be having the hardest part of the trip at night, so that will certainly be interesting. I think there's no lights out here, full stop, so the visibility is going to be shocking. I've noticed there are all these signs on the Alaska map here. I'm actually not too sure what they are. They're like little logos here, you can see it on the map now. Oh, jeez, that's a hill. Full throttle, ooh, that's cool. Oh, it's a pipeline, I get it now. I'm not sure if the icons have any function, but it must be just the pipeline that goes through. We gotta hit the other side a bit. Got some oncoming traffic. Okay, what's this say? Recreational area, next left. I assume that must be some sort of hidden road, perhaps? Jeez, what's going on there? There's a lot of smoke. So, since disabling the driver license, the serial black mod, the physics mod, and without having to change any of the wheel settings, it feels alright. I'm missing the physics mod a little bit, but the controls are feeling fine without having to adjust anything. So, probably shouldn't have shifted so early there, but I don't want to lose the throttle here. Been the hardest climb so far there, which wasn't bad at all. We're pretty much cruising through this quite easily, really. So we're about 4 hours away from our next stop. Pretty good so far. it's certainly a lot different from the base game, which is certainly something I do appreciate. So based on that, we are quite elevated now above where we were, from what you can see. Getting a little bit of vertigo out here. Oh no, look at that. Yeah, alright. Well, I'm not entirely convinced we're gonna fly up this bit. I don't know if I should just go full throttle here. I'm a bit over the speed limit, but I'm not going to worry too much. Don't think there's any cups out here. A bit of a break. I don't want to slow down too much since this looks quite ridiculous. Alright, 50. Alright, the miles are going steadily down, but we're looking good. Swap down quickly, down to low. Oh my goodness. Alright, we'll go 5th gear. Possibly switch to 4th. Not sure I'm liking this bit. Yeah, 4th. Oh my god. We're practically vertical. Are we gonna make it? God, we're slowing all the way down here. Oh, we're picking up, go high. Right, we're looking good. It was a bit scary there for a moment. I certainly didn't want to start rolling backwards with all this traffic behind me. So in this truck now we're at 9,760 miles. It's my most driven truck at this point. And I believe we'll actually probably hit 10,000 by the time we get to Prudhoe Bay, which is a cool little milestone, I think. Oh, felt a bit of a slide there. Nice big turn coming up. Slow down a bit. So I am not sure how accurate to life this is, but thinking about it, I imagine there's not that much traffic out here. You certainly wouldn't want to break down on one of these roads. It'd be quite terrifying, I think. I can't imagine how cold it is. I've personally never actually seen snow myself. Oops, I do need to change the onboard. There we go. We've certainly had some nice weather. It's blue skies the whole way. How are we looking behind us? A bit foggy. Oop. I'm not the greatest at steering in these other cameras. So we've got quite the amount of traffic behind us. So this bit we've been going through since that last big climb's been pretty cruisy. Nothing's really been happening. Got another turn coming up. I think that last stretch we'll be seeing once we leave Coldfoot, a lot of the trees are gone. I think there's some cool little patches where you actually drive through water, so that's going to be cool. Oh, it's snowing. I'm not sure if that kind of triggers once you get to this area, or whether that is just rain happening, because I think it's replacing the rain as far as I know. It's pretty cool actually. I do wonder if SCS is going. Oh, what's happening there? That happens occasionally. I'm not sure what causes that. Usually I panic whenever it happens, and you wait a few seconds and it's all good. So say Grayling Lake Wayside. Frozen Lake. I'd certainly prefer to be here now. Yesterday I think it was 37 Celsius, and we also had a bit of a thunderstorm which made it extremely humid. It's gross. I have this I have a cat and she's not allowed out, and I'm in a little locked up apartment practically, so I don't really have much opportunities to open up the house, so I find it more annoying than most people probably would. Oh, we're sliding a bit there, I didn't like that. We'll slow down a little bit for this spot. Not sure how I'm feeling about this weather we've had come in here, as it possibly means the last portion of the trip's going to be darker than we hoped for, which isn't exactly ideal. But you might catch me looking to the right sometimes. I'm sitting next to my balcony window, and where I'm sitting I occasionally catch a nice truck out the window. I have been seeing quite a few actrosses actually, and I feel like I had never seen them previously, but now that I've started looking for them I'm seeing them all the time. Roads are tightening up a little bit, but we're looking good. We're only 36 minutes away from Coldfoot. Sorry, mate. I'm thinking I might actually just pay the rest of that loan off, as it is almost finished, and then I'll be officially debt-free, which would be good. Though it's such a low price, it doesn't really matter. So we've still got 1100 miles of gas to use, so don't think we really need to fuel up here. We should be pretty safe. So we can see Coldfoot off in the distance now. sure we're not going too fast so we don't fly past. There we go, Coldfoot discovered. I actually initially was trying to get a job to go to Coldfoot, and then I was intending to go to Prudhoe Bay from there, but I hadn't actually realised it's basically just a rest stop. There isn't actually any depots or anything there really, which I think is accurate to how it is in real life. Right, I need to drop down. So we're good to take a big turn. Make sure we don't get stuck. So I think after this trip I've explored the majority of Alaska besides there's a little spot southwest that I haven't been to at all, but I think that's more similar to Anchorage and being like more of a town area, but I think it will be worth checking out. So it's only 12 p.m, so I don't think we will be needing to rest, otherwise we'll be driving the rest of the trip through the night, which won't be good. So I think we'll stop here. We're gonna get a snack to eat, pop into the little roadhouse here, and then we'll be taking off for the rest of the journey quite shortly. Now, my parking could be a little bit better here, but there aren't many people here, so we don't need to worry. I think we're gonna duck straight out in maybe 10 minutes. So we'll see you in the next vid to continue our journey. We've got one little stretch to go, another 7 hours. See, I haven't seen this little strip, this strip, and then this area, but we're looking pretty good for completion otherwise. I'm not sure what to expect out here. I think this is where the ferry would be normally, which I have uninstalled. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to catch the next bit of the journey, just remember to hit that subscribe button. It's always appreciated. Thank you, and we'll see you then.